our church youth group had planned a retreat to a state park. It was going to be the highlight of the summer. Hanging out with my crazy, rebellious, outspoken best friend, Kay. There would be a pool, a lake, a lodge, and no parents. We were bringing a snack for just the two of us, banana bread with marijuana in it. I was the baker with no experience, and the internet did not exist then. When it came time to add the pot, I didn't know how much to use, so I dumped in the whole ounce. My mom would be gone only a short time, so I increased the baking temperature by 200 degrees and cut the time short. The loaf came out bright green, burned on the outside, and like guacamole in the middle. It tasted rancid. I popped it into my backpack, still warm, and off we went. At the park, we swam, hiked, rode the paddle boats, and Kay and I frequently sneaked off to nibble the banana bread, though both the taste and texture were ghastly. I don't remember the entire weekend. In the evening, the youth director had us sit in a circle. We were going to build some positive group spirit by telling those seated beside us something that we liked about them. The girl on my left told me that she liked that I was quiet. She might as well have said beige. I like that you are beige and fade into the woodwork. Kay, who at this point lay black on the floor, fluffing her hair and staring at the light fixture, looked over at me and said, "What I like about you is that you're my favorite thing." My face got hot. I knew something was wrong with this, but I also knew this might not be the ideal time to delve into it. Kay sat up and pointed to Donna on her other side. "What I like about you is that you're amusing," she said. Yow! Donna, with her thick glasses and the bad skin of adolescence, was shy and nervous. I admired Kay for her devil-may-care attitude, but this was too much. I felt small and mean simply from sitting by her. The youth director narrowed her eyes, and I could see her making the decision not to engage, not yet. She then opened her eyes wide as if to say, "Okay, who's next?" Wow, I thought, she's got a whole eye language, and I'm the only one here who speaks it. I tried to signal back with my own eyes that I was a good person and meant no harm. That night, with our sleeping bags pulled off to the edge of the group, Kay and I lay staring through the window of the lodge at an outside light. Big moths flew around in the halo of it, flashing like disco balls. The more we watched, the bigger they got, and the closer they came. "Those remind me of some of the creatures Homer saw when he went on the Odyssey," I said. "I hate to tell you this, but Homer didn't go on the Odyssey," said Kay. "He wrote it." "So who wrote on the Odyssey then, if Homer didn't?" "Some guy with a Trojan," she said. "His name started with O, probably Oedipus." "Oedipus wanted his mother," I said. "All those Greeks did it with their relatives. It was sick," she said. "At least he had a Trojan." We were disturbing everyone, shrieking about Trojans and dodging moths that were probably 20 feet away. One of the chaperones explained that those were Luna moths. This sent us even further into gales of laughter. We stayed awake most of the night, pecking at tiny bites of banana bread, giggling and getting more and more bug-eyed. Somehow we dozed a few hours. The next morning, Kay refused to get up. She wouldn't budge and just muttered, "No." The glare of daylight had burned off all the hilarity, although the buzz hung on. What had been a thrilling adventure 12 hours ago now seemed like a stupid plan. I had to get Kay up. I couldn't just leave her there. People might think she was on drugs or something. Besides, nobody else was going to talk to me at breakfast. So I asked some of the guys to help me toss her in the pool. We did this. She surfaced with a level of rage and some words generally not heard on church retreats. She climbed out of the pool and lay down on the warm cement. No amount of coaxing could convince her to put on dry clothes and come to breakfast. Finally, I gave up. Well, I said, I'm starving, I'm going to breakfast. And I walked away. I'd never done that before. I tottered between remorse, fear, and something with a little edge that I wouldn't fully acknowledge for some time. None of those other kids liked me, but I was hungry. Maybe they would share their food. One foot in front of the other, I dragged myself into the dining hall alone. I got some juice and Pop-Tarts and looked around. The girl who liked that I was quiet and beige smiled. I sat by her. The others at the table stared at me and said nothing, but Donna of the bad skin and thick glasses smiled. Hi, I said, my voice cracking. After a while, beige-loving girl, whose name was Susan, said, weren't those Luna moths pretty last night? Yeah, I said, I've never seen anything like that. I did my science project on them, she said. Did you know that before they become moths, they have 5 immature stages where all they do is eat? Oh, I said, what do they eat? Leaves, bushes, anything green. The moths only live a week, and they can't eat at all, said Susan. They don't even have mouths. No mouth? That would be awful, I said. Kay appeared behind Susan looking cross. There's no Pop-Tarts left, she said. You can have one of mine, I said. She squeezed in on the bench beside me. Susan rose to carry her plate to the trash. Thanks for telling me about the Luna moths, I said. The others left. What are you sitting with them for, said Kay. And what about Luna moths? I chewed my Pop-Tart in silence. I felt a wild swinging in my gut as if I just crested a big hill on my bike and had the little skip and soaring feeling before flying down. They think they're so smart, know-it-alls, said Kay. Well, they do know a lot about Luna moths, I said. Susan did her science project on them. Did you know that a Luna moth has no mouth? Susan should have no mouth, said Kay. Or somebody, I said. We went to pack up our stuff and get ready to go home. There was still a glob of banana bread left, the center of the loaf, the rawest, most disgusting part, which had not been improved by a summer weekend in a backpack. I think it had actually fermented a bit. I threw it out into the woods, hoping that the larva of a Luna moth would enjoy it while he still had a mouth.